All right, boys and girls, we are wrapping up our study on character traits. We have looked at how to identify a character's traits by studying their words, their thoughts, and their actions. We've learned that characters have multiple traits, that they're very complex. And we've learned that characters change their traits over time. Today, we're going to look at what causes a character to change their traits. To do that, we're going to be looking at and finding different scenes along the story where Sister Bear changes her traits. We are going to be using the book No Girls Allowed by Stan and Jan Berenstain. You want to make sure that you read the book each time you do a new study on it. So if you've not watched the video today, go ahead and hit pause and go back and watch the video. And then we'll begin our lesson. So let's go ahead and take a look at the book and find scenes where Sister begins to change from prideful and arrogant to humble. In this opening scene, we find Sister beginning to change. Here, let's read and notice it. Then one day, when Sister was planning to tag along as usual, her playmates were nowhere to be seen. Here, the setting kind of changes. Earlier, Sister has been always like tagging along with her friends and kind of bragging a little bit, but now her friends have left her. This is the beginning of Sister changing. Here in this next scene, we see Sister continue her change from being prideful to humble. Here, let's listen. As Sister stood there trying to think what to do next, there was a creaking sound. The bridge was a drawbridge, and they were cranking it up. She was heartbroken. "It isn't fair," she wailed as she ran home from the thicket. I want you to hit pause and think, what in this scene shows Sister beginning to change? Go ahead and hit pause. Yes, you should have noticed the scene where it says she was heartbroken. Sister's heartbreaking is something that's going to help her make a change for the better. Finally, we get to the climax of the story. The climax is always the important part of the story where the character always makes that final change. Let's listen. "I suppose that's true," agreed Mama. "But you know, there's such a thing as a bad winner too. Someone who makes a big braggy show every time she wins." Sister Bear knew exactly who Mama was talking about. This is the climax because this is where Sister has the aha moment. She realizes that she has been prideful and arrogant, and maybe it's time for her to change. As we've seen over the course of this book, we've seen Sister slowly go from prideful and arrogant to humble. And that's what I want you to do as you read. I want you to notice the different scenes where your character is changing. So now what I want you to do is I want you to take your chapter book and I want you to go read a chapter of your book. And I want you to find out what are the scenes where your character is starting to change. And do some stop and jots as you read. Be aware that your character might not notice that they're changing. You are going to notice more than what the character is. So good luck, and we'll see you next time.